On this week's episode of Marketing O'Clock.
Google Search Console has a new idea that site operators will be absolutely content with.
I'm with the brand. We finally get a peek at how much PMAX traffic is actually branded search.
And believe it or not, folks, 4K characters may be coming to the bird.
All on today's show.
Welcome, you are listening to Marketing O'Clock. Just stay tuned. Digital marketing news, but let's get specific. Digital ads, SEO and analytics, social media and more. Pretty much everything that'll make your website perform. With new shows every Friday. We give you the news with sass and puns and definitely hot takes. Thank you for tuning in. You know what time it is. It's officially Marketing O'Clock. Settle in, sit back, keep it locked.
Hey there, I'm Christine Zernheld.
AKA Shop.
I'm Jess Budd.
And I'm Greg Finn.
And it is officially Marketing O'Clock.
Here on Friday, December 16th, 2022. The notes are just getting, we need to start over. This says here on Burr 16th, 2022. I'm saying we need to start over the documents, not the show.
Okay.
Like, why? How does it get this way?
You don't know
I
which
figured-
bird it is?
The font
Honestly-
colors mean nothing anymore.
It's
It'll
true.
say Jess when Nicole is on the show.
It's
We
a
all
slow
know what
news
we
day.
need to do.
Slow news day. Peek behind the curtain here, all right? I figure whatever's in there, if it's November or something, I just cut it out. You know the month. Just for the record.
You're giving me a lot of credit.
Every week I do these prep notes, and I figure that if your name is in there and somebody's swapped out, that you can figure that out. And mistakenly, maybe the biggest mistake I made in 2022, other than everything else, is that I thought you could find the source. And as we'll find out, you can't find the source. Everything has to be perfect.
We're in the business of efficiency. And if there's a link, there's a link. Why should we dig deeper?
But by doing that, you're in the business of making it less efficient on me.
I found a source. It's called Digital Information World.
Don't say that term.
DIW.
Jess, do you have anything to share today?
The only thing that I have to share is that I was playing Play-Doh with my son the other day, and it was super fun. We had all the colors out, and we're like, we're going to make food for each other. And I made him a beautiful pizza, complete with pepperoni and little, like, bell pepper rings and all these nice things. And I
Probably
gave
a
it
lot
to
of the spicy stuff too, right?
Well, he doesn't like spicy, so we were
Oh,
pretending that they were bell
everybody
peppers.
knows, Jess.
And I was really proud of my pizza. I'm like, here, I made you a pizza. I'm like, what did you make me? And he has this, like, tutti frutti ball of all the colors, and he just puts it down. He goes, poison.
Aw, he knows what you want.
I know. I was
Aw,
like, thank you.
sweet.
Take me with you, son. I was really proud of him. It was good.
Sounds delicious. I could really go for some Play-Doh right now. Well, we are a little delirious here because we recorded the Clockskers today. It is an excellent episode, just recapping really an incredible year.
Quite a year.
Strong words.
There were some shocking revelations. You might be surprised to see who won Greg of the Year during the year of Greg.
I mean,
There were some
way to
last
spoil
minute
it.
No spoilers.
There were some last minute changes where we picked a new winner live. It's a really great show. It'll be released the last week of the year, so the week before December 30th. But we think it's going to be a standalone episode because it was a really long show.
And we're going to have a regular episode. When everybody else goes dormant during the holidays, we pick it up. We kick it up a notch. What was that guy that kicks up a notch? Is that
Takes it
Emerald?
to
I'm going to kick it up a little bit. Another notch!
11 Spinal Tap.
Kick it up a
Yeah.
notch. Yeah. That's
Bam!
us. Bam.
Bam, 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 bam.
So be on the lookout for all that content coming up at the end of this year. Okay, getting into the news this week from Mike Ryan at Mike Ryan Retail. He tweeted, "How much of PMAX is brand? Hotly debated. It's partially answerable now with insights, consumer insights, and search term insights." So this is something we reported on a while ago, but I don't think it was live when Google announced it, so I haven't dug into it yet. But you have this new report that's going to give you search term insights, but it's not like an actual search term report that you might hope to see in your PMAX campaign. Okay, back to Mike's tweet. He says, "I'm still refining the approach and building out data. This brand," so he has an example, and it's broken out by like types of product categories. So first it's jackets, and that's 51% of it is branded. Footwear, 29% of it was branded. And then waterproof and rain jackets, 46 of it were branded. So he says this brand saw 43% of PMAX revenue, if you look at the revenue weighted average, coming from brand. Important note here, you cannot segment this by search or shopping, so it's all one thing because that's what PMAX is.
51% branded for other jackets.
I believe that's over half.
It's not surprising at all, and it's about to get worse when he gives you more details.
It's debatable, Jess.
I don't think so.
He says they have a strongly budgeted brand search campaigns. It could be that this is working fine and 99% of the branded search terms were created by shopping. Still makes a case for applying brand negatives and then creating brand search and brand shopping to properly handle that traffic. The best way to make a decision is to check your data. I've spot checked retailers with weak brands, and quite naturally, they don't have this problem at all. But if you're a strong brand, you probably will see this. This is not surprising at all. I have clients in B2B SaaS that have PMAX working really well sometimes. And sometimes they're like, why don't we just do like all PMAX or more PMAX, like raise the budget all the time? Like, because it's all of your branded stuff. And then last week, okay, so let's say it was like this company, and I had all of my campaigns running for jackets, and then we were talking about starting a footwear search campaign. My client sent me a screenshot, and they were like, hey, I thought we didn't launch these ads yet. They like looked up footwear, and there was one of their ads, like we had launched a footwear ad, but the final URL was for jackets from my PMAX campaign. Like so off with intent, so off. And now they're sending me like bad PMAX ads that they're seeing in the wild that they think are probably PMAX from like Discover and stuff. They're like on my side, but just be careful with it.
Shep, can I just say, there is nobody, honestly, better at B2B Google Ads SaaS than Christine, aka Shep.
Oh, wow.
Zernheld.
We were talking to some people about potential work, and I'm like, you know what? Just look at her automation report from SMX Advanced, and I sent that over. You do a fantastic job, and that is PMAX gaslighting you. That is not you. And I also took a bunch of your campaigns and I sent it to some people in Discord because they didn't believe me about broad. I'm like, no, look what Shep's doing in these accounts. You're just phenomenal.
Wow, what did I do to deserve this praise?
You're just really, really good at what you do.
Oscar Day.
Yeah, a good job.
Wow. Thank you. And thank you, Mike Ryan. If you're not following him and you're in e-com, Google Ads at all, you're just making a mistake. At Mike Ryan Retail.
He should be up for a clock, sir.
Have to tune
Is
in
it
to
too
find
late?
out.
Okay.
What else is happening?
I have like news-ish from the bird. I say ish because nothing's official, but Mr. Elon has some plans for letting people go longer on the platform in both video and text. So from social media today, Musk has repeatedly noted his desire to build YouTube-like features into the app, enabling users to post longer video in order to keep viewers from clicking across to another app or consume video content, monetization opportunities, all these things. That's great. They're kind of zigging to the short form zag, which I love. And there's not a ton of detail on that prospect, but it sounds like when it's released, it'll be a Twitter Blue exclusive. Probably more important or potentially impactful to Twitter as we know it is the long form text thing. So somebody tweeted, they said, Elon, is it true that Twitter is set to increase characters from 280 to 4,000? And he replied simply with yes. A Twitter designer also shared what it might look like. So it looks like they're actually working on this. And essentially you get the first, if we're going based off of this mock-up, you get the first 280 characters just like you would in your feed, and then a show more link after that, which will expand everything to see the full tweet, which I think is ideal if we're not trying to disrupt the feed and just have to infinitely scroll in order to read a really, really long tweet. So I like that. But it's all speculation beyond pretty much that's all that we know. And Andrew Hutchinson noted that it seems like the only way to reduce the massive tweet panel would be to scroll to the bottom. I don't understand why that would be the thing. He's proposing that you could have a character count saying the tweet is this long before you expand it. All that stuff seems silly. I think you could just have a back button at the top of the longer tweet if you expand it. Nobody knows if any of this is real, other than the fact that, yes, they are very seriously considering and designing for tweets that are longer than 280 characters. So,
what about all of the useless knowledge that I've acquired on how to make a tweet shorter.
I feel like there's still room for that, because if people just want to be long-winded and just like put their diary on Twitter, that's fine, but nobody's going to read all of that. I really don't think so. That's not what people use Twitter for. I think it's nice to have the opportunity to expand if you really do have more to say, but people are narcissistic and I think they're going to overuse this.
Here's the thing. I put this in the notes because I thought that this, like, Twitter is supposed to be the source of truth now. I don't know what is happening. I have no idea. Elon Musk, I forget when, but he's like, I think that freedom of speech and the truth, whatever, is the most important thing. That's why I'm going to let at Elon Jet, who tracks me, still exist on this platform. And then it got banned the day we're recording. So I figured when he said yes, that is being truthful. But who knows? And I'm just so done with it. I just wish he could just live up to some sort of standard. I don't know. I'm so disheartened by it all.
I don't think anybody knows anything. And this is was saving it later for the lightning round, but probably important to bring up now. Review, the newsletter platform, gone. Gone. So like, if you respect long form content.
And I'm pulling for him. I love Twitter. I love having non-carbon emitting cars. I just wish you couldn't be not a dickhead for a minute. Woo! You know?
Too late for the clockskers, Greg. Next year.
Before we get to the next story, I would just like to have a disclaimer that Greg has recorded 4 podcasts today, and he said he was going to try to rest his voice.
All right, next up in the news, I totally forgot to do it, but thankfully I just follow Barry Schwartz on everything he does. And there's a Google Search Console content idea that people are seeing. It's an experimental feature in Search Console. Many people are saying that this looks like the question hub that had been launched before. And it was Nicholas Acker who posted the screenshot on Mastodon. Good luck finding that. And Barry's got it, thankfully, over on Search Engine Roundtable. It looks actually very nice where you can hop through. It says experimental, so it does seem like a test. And it gives you a slew of different ideas and then some sort of like featured topics on the side. So I love it. I love the fact that Google is going to try to be helpful with different ideas for anybody that runs a website. And it also appears that only selected properties have this. The one thing I will say is that you need to understand who is giving you information. Let's say Google Ads, for example. They're giving you recommendations. If you implement the recommendations, you will go bankrupt and be living under a bridge, right? So like, take this with a grain of salt, but also check out Ahrefs, check out SEMrush, check out other things that actually can help you and are actually trying to make you better. Check those out. Not just this.
Next up in the news from PPC Dave from our Discord community.
Oh, related to PPC Greg?
They must be getting together for the holidays.
Probably.
All the PPCs. If you want to join us in Discord, community.marketingoclock.com, you can get a lot of great tips like this. So he says, so this happened today. Google is now including Google Ads summaries in the search results for logged in clients. The client emailed me concerned about the statement, your ads can show but are limited. Guess why they are limited? You got it. The client had 3 campaigns that were limited by budget, so Google is now using the search results to further nag them to increase their budgets. Unbelievable. So this is something that we reported on a while ago. It's now giving you almost like ad preview diagnosis in the search results, which at first I was like, oh, that's so cool. But when you think about it with your client seeing things this way, and it says limited, not limited by budget, it's like a red flag to them and they don't know what's really happening. So annoying.
Now it's time for this week's Take of the Week. This is a #fire digital marketing take with extra spice served up for you. We simply deliver the take for your consumption. We give no opinions. We don't influence. You make the call.
All right, this week's Take of the Week comes from Anthony Higman, at Anthony Higman on Twitter. Anthony says, remember when keywords were actually keywords? That was a good time to be alive. And has a screenshot. The term that Anthony's account was bidding on was auto accident lawyer. That's the phrase he's matching. Auto accident lawyer. The fucking term is phrase match. All right? Auto accident lawyer. Google matched it to Morgan and Morgan car accident. Now, maybe Morgan and Morgan is a lawyer. Maybe not.
And that's got to be such an expensive keyword.
That's somebody's brand.
That is so.
You're going to pay more because your ad copy doesn't say that.
I'm going to throw this chair. I'm going to throw this chair across the room.
What in the world is happening?
Love it. Keep going.
Somebody's looking for a different brand. Morgan and Morgan may be a lawyer. It may not be a lawyer. I get it. I'll give you that auto and car is different. I'll give you that. Morgan and Morgan. They're looking for a specific thing, not a lawyer. You've seen it. We've run through the keyword report.
It's a joke.
You're going to talk about it in a minute.
Match types mean nothing anymore.
I want somebody in jail. This is not a phrase. You were lying to everybody that uses your stupid platform. Exact match is not exact match, and this isn't even close to a phrase match. Morgan and Morgan doesn't mean lawyer. I don't go up and be like, oh, you know what? I got a DWI. Do you know any DWI Morgan and Morgans out there? What the is happening? This is my 4th podcast today. I'm losing it. But thank you, Anthony. I feel you, and this is absolute garbage.
Now it's time for this week's ICYMI.
ICYMI people.
This is something you just might not have seen. Maybe something that you overlooked, but you shouldn't have.
Okay, and if you're still here, ICYMI people from Amy Stamper on LinkedIn this time. This is good news, Greg.
I'm a positive person. Some people say.
Some might say.
Some people say I'm one of the biggest supporters of Google, just for the record.
Big
This
fan.
isn't about Google, so you don't need to go there. Just
Okay.
like
But he
vocal
went
rest.
already.
Vocal rest.
Some
coming
people
back.
call me just a very positive person.
Some people.
We don't know them.
Amy says you can finally target Instagram followers as a specific audience within Meta ads. Heart eyes. A little small there. Previously, you could only target engagement on Instagram, which I always thought was odd, as you could always target likes on Facebook. Good news for any marketers who want to A, target only your IG followers, like exciting exclusive news, or B, exclude your IG followers, like if you're running ads with campaigns designed to grow organic following. So that is a great tip. I never would have known about that. So if you want more IG targeting tips, follow Amy on LinkedIn. Listen, I know it's the middle of winter. We may be nowhere near the beach, but we are hanging loose over here. Just Bud is in shorts. We're listening to the SERPs Up podcast. SERPs Up is one of the best new industry podcasts of the year. It's brought to you by Wix and hosted by their Crystal Carter and Morty Oberstein, so you know you're getting excellent SEO intel. Something great about this show is that it's really evergreen, so they do cover news every week in one of the segments, but there's also a segment in the beginning that the episode is named for that dives deep into a specific content that you might want to know more about. So there's an episode on SEO performance SEO, keyword research, really anything you want to know about SEO, there's an episode for that. This is a great time of year if you're not in e-com, I guess, to work. Work is slowing down. You can browse their episodes, find a topic if you want to join the discussion with Crystal and Morty. You can tune in on the Wix SEO Learning Hub at wix.com/SEO/learn, or just do what I do. Wherever you're listening to us, type in SERPs Up and subscribe. Greg, have you been listening to SERPs Up?
Yes, 100%. The thing that I think is the best about this is you have a good time, and you can tell that Morty and Crystal like each other, and more importantly, like educating the community. I'm a sucker for that, and I'm a sucker for this podcast. We maybe don't dive in as much as SEO as we do on PPC sometimes here, But don't worry, Surf's Up has got you. Morty, Crystal, thank you. Check it out.
Now it's time for this week's Pew Pew Lightning Round. At this point in the show, we split up our content into 3 parts: paid, organic, and social.
First up in the paid universe this week from Nicole Farley at nfarley10 on Twitter. Trigger warning. Nicole says, anyone else seeing crazy variants in their search terms report? So this is an example where the keyword is stock monitor. And from my point of view, it's stock, like stonks with shep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think so.
And some close variant matches are phrase match close variant, best free livestock screener, best free stock scanners.
But the term is one
One word.
One
stock
word.
monitor.
Kind of looks
Stock
branded.
monitor.
Yeah.
like your brand. One giant phrase you're trying to target.
Livestock has 2 meanings alone.
I took it as the animal meaning.
Yeah, same.
Am I
But it
not
could be
giving
like
them enough credit?
it could be live stocks. Either way.
Either way,
Not-
the phrase you're
deviates,
targeting
yeah.
is stock, no space monitor,
problematic.
stock monitor.
And there shouldn't be able to be this many close variants with a phrase match. These are all unique close variants. Sam Kesich also has something to say in Discord. He said, the last 30 to 45 days have been terrible. Competitors big and small and about 30% of the time are irrelevant. Showing up for non-competitor terms is really concerning. There was a parenthesis in there that I kind of butchered, but it's...
We've seen it in our accounts.
I've seen, yeah.
I'm like, why could this possibly match to this?
Just
How could
swapping
this be
out
close?
a non-branded term for a brand name. Just with no regard.
I wish I could understand why.
I think you do understand.
No,
why.
I
It's just not nice. Money is why.
But it's so short term. It's such a short term play.
Is it though? It's been going on for a while. They're duping people.
Let me call up my Morgan and find out. How about that?
Okay, now we have some news from a real positive guy. His name's Greg Finn, at Greg Finn on Twitter. He spotted a change in Discovery ads format in the Google Discovery feed. So they're using...
Google Discover feed. I made it on purpose. It's the stupidest
sorry,
nomenclature ever.
sorry.
You run Discovery ads in the Discover feed.
I do
So
say
dumb.
it wrong every time.
Let the record show
Yeah.
it says Discover feed. They're using sponsored as a label instead of ad. And he says, biggest tweak, logo is now next to the brand, just like organic content. And Greg is team paid, so he likes it.
He says I like it.
Yep.
That's a positive.
So he has an example of the ad here. I feel like all the Discover ads I see, they're like throwing a lot of headlines, and I don't love it. Like, doesn't always make sense. But below that, I had to catch up on some work last night in bed, and my husband happened to look at my computer screen and saw this image. And I would just like to know what you're into, Greg Finn.
Clockwork Orange.
This is a person getting like LASIK surgery. It's really disturbing.
The other thing that's so funny is we have had these Google reps off the record, but on the record, and they're like, you can't put text in your ads. And it's like, I know what people are doing with your Discovery ads. You're putting text in the ads. And look at this ad from Google Fi. There's nothing but text in there. And I had to tell them, I'm like, all you do with Waze and Google Fi is put text in your ads. They didn't like that.
No text on that eyeball pic. Speaks for itself.
I don't know what that one was. I have bad eye. I mean, I have glasses though, so probably like, hey, fix your face.
Next up here from Alfred Simon at Alfred Simon on Twitter, he tweeted, looks like Google found a new way to be more annoying with the notifications. Limited by budget, ... soon. I've noticed this popping up in my accounts too. Like, what does it even mean? Like, your budget is about to run out for the day? I thought limited by budget was like an evergreen status. Like, your budget is too low to get you through each and every day. Like,
Pretty soon.
that
You're-
is so... Like, what do you want me to do with this?
I just feel like it's a threat. Like
Totally.
soon you're gonna be limited by budget. It might be enough today, might be enough tomorrow, but someday.
And it
Isn't it binary? Isn't this a binary problem? You're limited by budget or you're not limited by budget. Like, shut the up about the limited soon.
And
All right?
it's making it seem like they're talking about just today to me.
Yeah.
But budgets are like a 30-day billing thing. 30
And
Yeah.
your clients are going to get in there and be like, oh, I'm looking at it. It's going to be limited soon. Yeah, motherfucker. It's 6:30.
God.
Listen, you just take it back when the rep talks to you. Be like, yeah, I'll apply these recommendations soon.
Yeah.
Just flip it
Yeah,
back.
it's
flip it
going to be
back.
limited soon. It's 4:30 p.m. and we shut off at 5. It's supposed to be limited by budget. That's the whole point of it.
Akvila DeFazio has a fabulous article. It is called Q5 Facebook Advertising Tactics to Successfully Wrap Up the New Year. And you can find it on her website, advertise.com. We will also have it in our show notes, Discord, all the places. Actually, not show notes. You have to subscribe to our newsletter and be in Discord.
Community.marketingclock.com.
But why wouldn't you?
Or marketingclock.com/newsletter.
So if you're not familiar, Q5 is December 25th through 31st. And she says, once the holidays wrap up, the advertising landscape will shift back to the pre-holiday version of itself, where there was less competition for impression share, thus lower costs, which can stretch your budget further. And she has some great tips for campaigns running during that time. She has messaging tips, places to find inspiration, and then some great advice. She says, set it up now and relax when it matters. So again, great article. Don't take my word for it. Read it. Another great article from group27.com. These are 5 year-end Google Ads action items for B2Bs. This is an article written by Pauline Jackober on the Group 27 blog. So she talks about confirming budgets for next year, refreshing assets, and much more. This is just a nice little checklist and reminder to take care of these things now and thank yourself and Pauline later. Barry Schwartz has an article on Search Engine Land that talks about how UK financial service advertisers now need verification for Microsoft advertising. That's basically what you need to know. If you are advertising financial services in the UK, you'll have to prove that you're either a non-financial services advertiser who may target consumers seeking financial services, or government entities such as authorities or regulators under the gov.uk domain. He has more detail in the article if that applies to you. Barry always has fabulous images. I'm really stumped by this one. I think I'm missing something that you guys are going to get right away. Is this man holding a magic wand?
I think it's an ice pick for a lobotomy.
I think it's a CEO.
What is he doing?
I don't know. It might be a
It's a
surface.
pointer. No, he's pointing.
It's a magic wand. He looks like Voldemort.
No, it's a
Don't say
teacher
that name.
pointing what you're supposed to do.
Why is the stick that's
Like
pointer so
class.
long?
Because like being in class, don't you remember those large wooden like dowels that teachers used to point at the map?
I don't. I
You're
need
too
some
young.
clarification from Barry. That is all for paid what's happening in organic.
All right. First up in organic this week from Joy Hawkins at Joyanne Hawkins on Twitter. She says, David Hills just posted in our Facebook group that you can now post videos with your reviews on Google. And I'm also seeing this option now on Google Maps app. So you can rate, you can share your review, you can add photos and now videos. And also Joy Hawkins has been putting out more videos herself. I just want to say, very informative, very inspirational. They've just been a joy to watch. So, all right. And next up in Buy Stock in Screaming Frog news from Glenn Gabe, as reported by many, but the only one that matters is Glenn. He says Google is testing removing the hashtag number of results returned by the SERPs. So if your site queries for rough indexing numbers could be rendered useless. So when you do a search now, you might not be able to see the number of site queries that also show up. So I like the fact that you could use a site colon operator and see how many pages on a site like actually showed up in Google's index for one of those queries, but you're not gonna be able to see that anymore. I guess you could manually kind of do the math and see how many pages are in there, but it was a helpful tool. I guess maybe use Bing or something else if you need that. All right. Google has improved a bunch of spam, bot, and content problems that were happening on YouTube. So first up, they improved spam detection on comments. If you recall, back in November of 2020 at this point, they got rid of dislikes because they couldn't figure out the spam on dislikes. But now they've removed over 1.1 billion spammy comments in the first 6 months of 2022. So that's awesome that they can now get rid of these like spammy comments in general. Still having problems with spam detection on dislikes. And I reached out to, I forget what his name is now, I guess Renee Ritchie, it looks like, at YouTube Liaison on Twitter. And I said, hey, have you ever figured out what that problem was with the dislike attacks? If you recall, 2020 November, they got rid of the dislike button. Personally, I have been looking at a lot of soccer videos, U9 soccer coaching, no big deal. And I like seeing things that get poorly voted, like on Reddit, stuff like that, like being able to see what's going to be a good video so I don't have to invest my time in it. And so I asked him, I said, any chance anyone has leads on figuring out a solution to stop all the dislike attacking behavior from last year? I was trying to pull for y'all to find a solution. And Renee Ritchie said, what dislike attacking behavior is still seeing and how were you seeing it? Oh, not seeing it now. I know that the main reason the dislike count was removed almost a year ago. I've always loved the ability to use community sentiment as a tool in judging the quality of content. It really helps elevate good content. And then we went back and forth. And he said, isn't that what discovery is about? And I said, no, when I'm searching for something, I want to see what's good and what's bad. And then he said, I would just caution against making assumptions as to what those percentages might look like and whether or not people are now enjoying videos they might have skipped because artificially manipulated accounts. So they're still working on artificially manipulated accounts. They're still working on dislike attacks, but at least they've got the comment spam down. Anybody believe that?
No.
Okay. All right, next up from Christina in Discord. She says MailChimp has a new email builder. Most of it's just UI differences, but they did add an AI text generator that can do subject, heading, and subheadings. Note, I say they can and not should.
Atta girl.
The ones that came up with in my test were pretty hilarious. I don't think email marketers will be out of a job quite yet. So if you're a MailChimp user, you can now check out that AI. A lot of times, though, honestly, it can help you get maybe like 40% of the way there.
Little inspiration never hurt. Just please don't set it and forget it.
Retweet. All right, from Glenn Gabe at Glenn Gabe on Twitter, he says, I know ChatGPT has been trying to keep up with demand. It was down for me earlier, but I just asked it to write 2 articles about very different topics. I took the first few paragraphs from each and ran it through a writer's AI content detection tool. Yikes. That's not good. It says 4% of his articles were human-generated content. He had 2 screenshots. The other screenshot said 34%. But either way, if you think you're outsmarting Google or anything else with your ChatGPT, you know what? I just have a feeling that probably humans could do better.
Just a hunch.
Just a hunch. All right. Amazon is inspiring a TikTok-like shopping feed that supports both photos and videos. It's called Inspire. And it's going to allow consumers to explore products and ideas and shop from content created by influencers. Good luck, I guess. Shep, you're a QVC person.
Mm-hmm.
What should we think about this?
This
You're a
isn't
TikToker.
QVC. I've told you the value of QVC is you trust those hosts. David Venable has been on the air for 29 years.
He's the Letterman guy?
He's looking better than ever. You trust him.
He's the candle guy?
Cheese?
He sells
Cheese man?
everything. He used to be a lot of food, but I think he's not selling as much food, and that's why.
That's why what?
He's just looking a little thinner.
Oh, he should sell supplements then.
David?
Yeah.
No, he wouldn't sell trash like that. He's selling quality, value, and convenience.
Some of us take a B12 and it's not trash. Can't get animal proteins if you don't eat animals.
Supplements to you and Greg mean very different things.
Fair.
Supplements to Greg means caffeine pills.
No, I don't take
I've been taking supplements since 8th grade.
All right. And finishing it out here from the one and only Glenn Gabe. He says, are you using Spotify? I started seeing chapters show up for podcasts, like this example from Marketing a Clock.
Aw.
You can't navigate those chapters, though, which is weird.
How
Maybe
useful.
functionality will launch soon, letting you hop around easily or share from that chapter like you can for time. One note, if you are looking at the example up on YouTube or Spotify, We do take what we put in those timestamps from YouTube and we copy it and paste it right over to Spotify. So we're trying to get like the framework, let's say, for chapters. You can do that. Take it from YouTube, throw it on Spotify, and you'll get that going. That's all in organic, bud. What's happening in social?
Twitter tweeted the following from their gold, which I'm calling yellow, checkmark verified account. They said, we're relaunching at Twitter Blue on Monday. Subscribe on web for $8 a month or on iOS for $11 a month. Little sus, can't imagine why. To get access to subscriber-only features, including the blue checkmark. I added some things in there. That wasn't a verbatim tweet. They added into the thread, when you subscribe, you'll get edit tweet, 1080p video uploads, reader mode, and a blue checkmark. Yada, yada, yada. They talk about all of the different labels and what the different colors of check marks mean and different things there. The one thing that they said as part of Twitter Blue coming soon was that you would see half the ads. It says see 50% fewer ads than non-verified people, which I just wonder if they're going to just double what non-verified folks are seeing or if they're actually going to cut that in half. I guess it remains to be seen. They did also expand on the different color check marks as well as some profile labels. They have a nice help article, privacy and policy, or rules and policies article, if you will, that defines things such as state-affiliated media and government organizations, political candidates, automated accounts, and professional categories if you're looking to add a label to your account. So if that impacts you or if you're curious about what those different colors mean, we'll have the link in our show notes. You can check it out. Next up from Engadget via the one and only Salt J, aka Julie Bacchini. Discord is expanding on its connections feature by providing a way for folks to verify their identity using accounts on other platforms. Starting this week, admins will be able to offer dedicated server roles to users who have authenticated profiles with accounts elsewhere. And the idea here is basically just to provide a stronger sense of trust using external signals, I guess. There's a whole slew of platforms that support this feature, including but not limited to Xbox, Steam, Reddit, TikTok, Twitter, Shopify, GitHub, PayPal, and eBay, as well as Crunchyroll, which for
Sounds
years,
delicious.
doesn't it? Like, I don't know what it is, and for years I've seen it out there, and it really does. It sounds like a cheesy,
Oh, I was thinking
like a cheesy,
crunchy
crunchy
tuna sushi roll.
Ew.
Wouldn't that
I was
have
thinking like
little
jalapeno
crunchies
popper.
on top?
Gross. Either way, fun to say. From the Wall Street Journal, a couple of Instagram updates that we've kind of alluded to in the past, but a little more officially because it's a reputable source. The first one is called Notes, which you may have already seen at the top of your inbox. I know I have. It is rolling out officially to all users this week. Essentially, it's like a status update in 60 characters or less that can be shared with your close friends or with followers that follow you back. Again, that you just see it at the top of your DMs. It seems kind of silly, but I guess if you want people to know that you have thoughts like, why is tomorrow Monday? Interrobang emoji face, you can share those things with your closest friends because the rest of the world doesn't need to hear that.
Just if you do this, I hate you.
And unfollow.
Also that.
I feel like why is tomorrow Monday?
Because
There's
the calendar.
calendars.
Anyway, the second update is still a test, but it is a live test in South Africa. It is starting this week, called Candid Stories, very similar to Be Real. Essentially, users get a daily notification to snap and share 2 unfiltered photos using the front and back camera lenses. So if we were to do it right now, you would see me being really enthusiastic and Greg not giving a Next up.
It's just like you were doing IGTV. You were trying to make, you're trying Facebook Watch. You're trying to make horizontal video work. Like now all you're doing is going the opposite. It's prime time for somebody to come in and try horizontal video and compete against. There's only one YouTube. If only a company could go out there and be like, you know what? We're going to do horizontal video, but nobody's smart enough to do it, so I'm just going to shut up.
It's almost like you curate the news every week and then look ahead in the notes, Greg. But I know you didn't know about this. So for the cheap seats, TikTok, who is a pioneer in their vertical, is going horizontal.
Smart.
Mm-hmm.
Did
Smart
they listen
pun,
to
right?
the show?
Funny transition? Yeah. The platform is testing a new full screen mode with select users globally, though. And if you have access to the feature, you will have a full screen button that appears and, flip your phone.
Not going to work for me. I watch while brushing my teeth. and I won't have two hands.
Sorry, this is so
You need
smart.
One hand to flip your phone.
So smart. You can take what is on your phone and you can put it on TV, something that everybody's got in their house. People don't want to watch freaking sitcoms anymore. Nobody wants to watch that. You can just pop open the TikTok app and see all that stuff. Perfect. They're going after YouTube. They're going to beat YouTube because YouTube's so stupid with everything they're doing.
Maybe. Because the clock may be tick-tocking on the whole thing. Greg, I don't know. This remains to be seen. But FYI, from CNBC, lawmakers have unveiled a bipartisan bill aiming to ban TikTok in the U.S. Will it happen? We don't know.
Are we really? What is the year? 2020?
It's
I
not
don't
going to
know.
happen. No,
I don't
there's
know.
no chance. I know that like all the stocks went up when this, like,
Yeah.
I think Facebook was up 6%, like Snapchat was up 3% or something.
I mean, who knows? Who cares? We will report
They're not
more
banning
as
it.
They're not. Well, and it's also not like everyone likes to pitch it at TikTok like it's some evil thing, but there's like China, Russia, several other foreign countries. Who know? Read the article if you really care. We will let you know if anything actually happens. Back to
But good for
Twitter.
you. Good
Yeah.
for you for zagging to
Zigging
the
and
zigs.
zagging?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I will say the vertical on my TV, it is permeating my household on the YouTube. It's driving me insane.
There's somebody in
Driving
the house
me
that watch a vertical video.
Insane.
Is it somebody that's under the age of 6?
Yeah.
Okay.
But like he doesn't like it.
Nobody likes
Like
it.
it shows up, you go to a channel that you subscribe to and it's just there and he gets excited by the thumbnail and then it's A, short, TM, B, I have this huge TV for no reason. No reason.
I'm with you.
Anyway, back to Twitter. Jane mentioned Wong at WongMJane on the Twitter machine. Back in August, she noted that Twitter was working on showing a tweet view count. And now she is tweeting that they are bringing the view count to the web app as well. And I just love it. She shared a screenshot of this and her watermark. Everybody just puts their handle. I think she used to do the same. Now she's using her photo. And I just love that. Get your face out there. It's cute.
$1 million idea.
Yeah.
TV that rotates.
They're making those, right?
Right.
Or they're
Yeah,
at
I
least
thought I
like
saw
the
one at
thing
Best
on your
Buy.
wall, like your wall mount.
You should do that.
But it needs to come with a remote. Like I don't want to have to get up every 6 seconds.
Oh,
and
no,
flip
no,
the TV.
remote. It senses it. You have the TikTok app. It does that. It senses video and changes.
That would be really cool. Poke holes in that. Or somebody really do it because we're going to need it, unfortunately. All right. I will not feed a fed horse, but everybody knows that Twitter is trying to relieve handles that have been held hostage essentially by inactivity.
If it's true.
If it's true. Yes. In one word. Anyway, Elon Musk tweeted, Twitter will soon start freeing the name space of 1.5 billion accounts. Emphasis on soon. No one knows what that means. We will repeat ourselves a million times. Look out for the handle that you lost out on. But there is an important sidebar here because somebody in the replies put Elon Musk's face on a wrestler. I don't know if that's Stone Cold Steve Austin or what, but it's really scary and worth looking at.
That's Brock Lesnar.
Here's some truth. We talked about it earlier. This may be the most devastating featured image of 2022, not a Clocksker category, so I'm nominating it there. Twitter is shutting down the newsletter platform Review. We already talked about this, but just in case you have been using it and you should have been notified, but if you didn't read it, you have until January 18th, 2023 to retrieve your data before it all gets deleted. And the little bird emoji is just melting into a sad puddle, and I'm sorry for all you folks.
And that brings us to our real life segment, straight out of our accounts and into your ear holes. It's time for Working Hard or Hardly Working, where we talk about what's going on in our IRL work, good, bad, or otherwise.
Hardly working for me in Google Ads. Any kind of smart bidding strategy is taking a much longer time to learn. And while it's learning, it just doesn't spend. Like I used to be able to just flip on maximize conversions and it would spend a lot and I'd learn a lot and then maybe switch on target CPA later. Not anymore. It takes 5 days, not spending at all. It's very exhausting. Jess, what about you?
Update from Data by Sarah. She crashed our show a couple weeks ago to talk about the API limits for GA4 in Looker Studio. Did my best, Greg Finn there. Buzz around the data department is that Supermetrics and possibly some other connectors are a decent workaround to kind of thwart those limits and actually get what you need in your reports and query it more times than the 4 or whatever limit that she mentioned. So far so good. Cross your fingers. If you do use a connector like Supermetrics, maybe use it even for GA4.
All right, for me, I think it's fairly annoying that if you have an e-commerce client in Google Ads and there's a bunch of data, if you try to set up a discovery campaign, you can't use maximize conversion value. You're set on maximize conversions. You can't even do TCPA. You can't do TROAS. Just to get started, I think it's strange that you have to do maximize conversions, especially knowing that socks might not be as valuable as something like sneakers. So to me, that is hardly working. The fact that when you start out on discovery campaigns, you have to use max conversions.
And now for this week's
Cool tool.
As a reminder, our Cool Tool segment is not an official endorsement or paid mention. We're simply sharing something we found in our travels that may be of use to our listeners and is really, really cool.
This week's cool tool is a tutorial for you, tutorial SEOs. Shep rolled her eyes at me on that one. It was a struggle this week, folks. From the one, the only BFF of the show, Glenn Gabe. It is how to analyze the impact of continuous scroll in Google's desktop search results using Analytics Edge and the GSC API. He runs through how to bulk export data from GSC, Google Search Console, and compare that data to a previous time frame, filter by position in the SERPs, create a separate worksheet for each page, and then you can see the difference in clicks, impressions, CTR, and more based on Google rolling out that continuous scroll update in the desktop search results. This is pretty handy and super timely. He turned that around really fast. Love to see it. So as always, we will have the link in our newsletter as well as on Discord, community.marketingoclock.com. So pick your poison and check it out.
Now it's time for our must-read marketing article of the week. An article so advanced, so in-depth, so detailed that we simply cannot cover it in its entirety on today's show.
All right, this week's must-read marketing article of the week is actually a thread from Lily Ray, former guest on the show here, at Lily Ray NYC on Twitter. She says, some of my findings about the SEO landscape in 2022, a thread. 2022 saw a big shift towards largely affecting news and publisher sites, particularly product review content. Has a huge thread of everything she saw in 2022. And a couple things. One thing I guess that I thought was really interesting in the thread is that she says, Google Discover, while confusing, unpredictable, and hard to optimize for, will continue to be one of the biggest opportunities for publisher and other sites to sustain ad revenue. Appreciate it. Thank you, Lily. Check it out.
And now onto our playlist of curated songs to work to. You can head over to playlist.marketingoclock.com to listen to Marketing a Playlist. Jess, Bud, what will you be adding this week?
Think Twice by the absolutely underrated band Eve 6.
Retweet.
I'm continuing my season tickets at the theater journey. I saw an excellent show last night, Come From Away, with a friend, Mark Saltarelli. So I will be
from the show.
We know him.
Ever heard of him? I will be selecting Me in the Sky from the Come From Away original Broadway cast recording. Greg.
All right. I'm going to go. It's not technically on Spotify, but I'm going to go with it. Great song live. Tom Petty, Learning to Fly, live with Stevie Nicks. You can only find it on YouTube.
Ooh.
I'm going to put the live version that's on Spotify into the playlist. I heard it play live on the actual terrestrial radio, and I'm like, this song rocks. So check that out.
All right, that does it for today's show.
It is now officially not Marketing O'Clock.
Thanks for listening.
And we'll see you next week.
Thanks for listening to Marketing O'Clock. If you're looking for more information on today's topics, head over to marketingoclock.com/newsletter to receive every single article we covered. We share the news as it breaks in our Discord community. Head over to community.marketingoclock.com to join.
How much did that just cost?
Honestly, my sleeve was probably like $800. It wasn't that
Tip?
bad. Yeah, plus tip.
Welcome to this week's Shooting the Heck Raptor, our famous Friday news show. We don't talk about marketing anymore. We just...
Shoot the heck.
And Greg Finn has something for us today.
Yes. Today we're going to be playing everybody's favorite game, but with a Christmas flair to it. All right, we're going to be playing Travel Buddies, where you have to travel around the globe with somebody. There will be no music played during the traveling, but you have to choose
Sounds like my
which
life.
type of person you want to go on a across the globe excursion with. Okay?
And Santa's sleigh, is that the...
Yes, you're taking Santa's sleigh.
Has Tables ever played this?
Tables, you have to, as a team, choose the right answer. There's a right answer.
There's not a right
There's a
answer.
wrong
Don't worry
answer.
about
The
it.
wrong answer...
Incorrect.
Is
I have it
whenever we
down
come
here.
to consensus.
I have it down here.
No,
Paper.
he doesn't, Tables.
This
He
is
doesn't.
analog, Tables. See the analog.
We can't
Confirm.
see the sheet, though.
Okay. Are you going to go on a trip around the globe? You're not going to hear any music on this trip
You keep saying that.
because you don't know how the game works.
Oh, I know how the game works.
Somebody's favorite holiday song is Here Comes Santa Claus, Right Down Santa Claus Lane by Gene Autry. Or are you going to take a trip with somebody that likes Happy Holiday, The Holiday Season by Andy Williams?
I wish it was Santa Claus Lane by Hillary Duff. Then this would be really a no-brainer.
Again, don't know how the game works.
But no, that doesn't mean that I think I'm listening to music. But the only criteria I have is their favorite song. I'm going to discuss the song.
It's Whoop-De-Doo and Dickory Dock is the Andy Williams one, right?
yes.
Personally, I would pick the Andy Williams song. At least it's a classic.
I agree. I hate that line.
The Santa Claus Lane, like, what are you even talking about? Is that a real place? Is it in Google Maps? What do you guys think?
I'm with you, Shep.
Tables, what do you think?
I'm going with Happy Holidays.
Okay, is that your final answer?
Yeah, get bent. You're going to tell us it's wrong.
No, I have the answer. That is actually my favorite song of the two, but the incorrect answer, because if you take this person on a trip, all they're gonna be doing is talking in that dopey voice. They're gonna be like, it's the traveling season. No, they're gonna be the stupid thing. Gonna be like, a Dickory Dock, and they're just gonna be cheesy, lame. Nope. The right answer here, circled. Here Comes Santa Claus, right down Santa Claus Lane by Gene Autry. Okay, next up.
Nobody even knew who that artist was before today.
Gene Autry? I think I had to say it this morning because my son asked me who was singing Frosty the Snowman. I had to tell him.
You're going to go on a trip across the globe. You're not going to hear any music on the trip. You choose somebody that their favorite holiday song is Christmas Tree Farm by Taylor Swift, or somebody that is God Rest You Merry Gentlemen by Bare Naked Ladies.
Oh, those are two excellent songs.
I want to travel with Shep, and I know who she picks. So
Bare Naked Ladies and Sarah McLachlan, right?
And Sarah McLachlan included.
That is a really
she's
good song.
nice lady.
Christmas Tree Farm is so underrated. It doesn't get any respect.
Never even heard of it.
Oh, it's so
But
good.
I wanna
Tables, do you have
travel
any
with
thoughts
you.
on this?
Bare Naked Ladies, Sarah McLachlan.
Sarah McLachlan's love is better than ice cream. I think. Are we house divided?
I don't know. You got to
No,
tell me.
you're the final vote, obviously.
Oh, but I want to travel with you.
It's okay.
It's
You're all
Taylor
traveling
Swift.
together anyway.
All right, then give me the Bare Naked Ladies.
Was it Taylor
As a
Swift?
rule.
Who are you choosing final answer?
That's just a dumb song.
I
God
want to
rest her
go
merry
on the
gentlemen.
trip with Taylor Swift.
She's not coming. She'll get punched out of the
Final
sleigh.
answer.
What do you think, Greg?
Jess!
I have the answer. I can't answer it.
I'm trying to get it out of you.
Who are you taking?
Bare Naked Ladies.
Why did you act like that was such a hard decision for you to make?
Because
You've
I
never
want
heard
to travel with
Christmas
you,
So-
and I know that you're the Christmas tree farm lady.
I completely agree
But-
that God Rest You Merry Gentlemen is the better song. I had Spotify Christmas songs. I put it on for the kids. I rarely skip a song. Hard skip Christmas Tree Farm.
You didn't give it a chance.
I gave it a chance.
Did you get to the bridge?
Give trees a chance.
I gave it to the chance and I jumped right off that bridge. All right.
Terrible
Because-
taste.
Bare Naked Ladies, they want something with too many cooks in the kitchen. There's too many people on that track.
There's two.
No, there's the Bare Naked Ladies with an S,
How
and
many
then
are
Sarah
there?
McLachlan, and probably all the puppies too.
So
She
is
probably
Sarah
brought the puppies
fully
with her.
clothed?
And they're not even Bare Naked Ladies. They just
No,
wanted that on the
because
marquee
they're
so
gonna wanna
they
go
could get gigs and
bring
people
everybody
would show
else,
up.
and everything. You're gonna have to bring a million people along with them. No. The Bare Naked Ladies is incorrect. They have better taste, but everything the groups are gonna be too big. They like too much at once.
If I had $1 million, I would not go on this trip. I'd spend it elsewhere.
Okay. Little Saint Nick.
No,
by the Beach
no,
Boys.
no, No.
don't
Favorite
know the other
song?
I
option.
don't care.
You don't know the
Little
other
Saint Nick
option.
by the Beach Boys or
Don't you pick that.
Little Drummer Boy by Neil Diamond.
Oh,
love
you
Drummer
hate
Boy.
that song. You
He
hate
is
that
such
song.
a nice kid.
The Little Drummer Boy by Neil Diamond or Little Saint Nick by the Beach Boys.
The little drummer boy, like if everyone would just be more like him, the world would
agree.
be a better place.
I agree. Get out of here with the Beach Boys.
Little
Yeah.
drummer boy.
Little Drummer Boy's a classic.
Okay,
We're wrong though, because Greg hates that song.
go. Oh, you already answered. Your final answer, Little Drummer Boy, Neil Diamond. Final answer.
Yes.
Okay. Unfortunately, you are incorrect. There's nobody that is a bigger Beach Boy hater than me. But if any one of you can sit through the song Little Drummer Boy by Neil Diamond, I will pay you. I will pay you money. There's no worse song ever.
I don't know if I know it, but I love the little
You
drummer
know
boy.
the Little Drummer Boy.
When we had to do the worst 5 songs ever, one of mine was Little
I
Drummer
know.
Boy by Neil Diamond.
I know.
This person has no taste. They might as well have Bruno 19. That's how little taste they have, all right? None. Okay? So it's going to be a bad trip. Do you want any more of these or no?
Yeah.
All right.
Stop yelling at me.
I can't.
All right, I think you know
I'm
it. Jess,
so
Jess,
mad.
you might have a little inside information on this. Got it? All right?
Mhm.
So Adam Sandler, the Hanukkah song.
Ouch.
What?
What? Nothing.
It's a little background. You have you have more insight than other
I
folks
was
here.
bat mitzvahed.
Or the Maccabeats, Candlelight.
I don't
Never
know
heard that one.
Maccabees.
It's a Hanukkah song that was very popular. It's a cappella.
I don't know if it was very popular. I feel like Adam Sandler rules Hanukkah and Thanksgiving.
Okay. Maccabeats, Candlelight, Adam Sandler, the Hanukkah song.
Maccabees is a really clever name.
I know, but as a Jewish kid growing up, the Hanukkah song made me feel seen. Like,
Yeah,
there
so
were
it's like,
so
how am
many
I going to
famous
vote
people.
against you?
Yeah. Thanks, Shep. I voted against you earlier, so I really appreciate the loyalty. Table?
So I used to actually jam out to the Hanukkah song on my iPod Nano back in the day. I'm going to go with that.
Okay.
Yes!
The actual answer. Sorry,
Get out.
Maccabeats. So Maccabeats, Candlelight. Because the only reason, honestly, the song is in the theme of Teo Cruz Dynamite. And Mark Saltrelli said that that's my entrance song, so that's why they won.
People really have had to listen to the show for a long time to understand anything that's happening right now.
I know, but that's the beauty of the show.
Happy holidays.
All right, are we done? You want one more?
One more. Just let us just twist the knife a little more.
Okay.
Painful.
We're going to go old classic and new classic. Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas Is You. Or traveling with somebody whose favorite song is Ariana Grande, Santa Tell Me.
Okay.
I don't hate that.
I am officially, it's taken 20 years, but starting to get burnt out on All I Want for Christmas Is You. But that Santa Tell Me song is stupid. You should have picked Mariah Carey's Jesus, Oh, What a Wonderful Child.
This is my game. I only have answers for one.
I saw a meme about the Mariah Carey one, and she's like, I don't want a lot, but I want you, and how it's mean to the
Aw.
person that's you. So I'm with Shep on this one, but I don't hate the Ariana Grande. Christmas music is just joyful. I don't
Well,
care.
right now, you're 0 for 4, so think it through.
What do you
We're
think,
going to
Tables?
be 0 for 5.
Why don't you let Tables pick this one?
I mean, I'm going to go with anything other than the Mariah Carey song. I'm so sick of it.
Your final answer is what?
And whatever table.
I guess Ariana Grande.
We're going with
Okay.
it.
I just wish you understood how this game was played. Every time you pick the better song, that's not it. It's who you're traveling with.
Matter
Yeah,
what
but
you pick.
The Ariana Grande song, Santa Tell Me, might be the best Christmas song ever made. I've come around on it. Shout out Hope.
Have you heard Corey
It's-
Taylor's Christmas song?
Yeah. My ears are still recovering.
Have you heard Christmas
Gave me an ear
Tree
infection.
Farm?
Yeah, it's the only song I've ever turned off on Christmas. But the reason is you know what you're getting when you travel with the person that likes Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You. You can just go out there. They
Everyone
like the
likes that
hits.
song.
They like the hits. You know what you're doing. You'd be like, let's go to the most popular thing. They're not going to give you a pushback. They're not going to be like, oh, there's a newer, better thing out here. They're going to be like, oh, cool, let's go there. Oh, we're going to eat in Buffalo. Let's go to Anchor Bar. Let's go to Chef's. They're going to know exactly what they're looking for. Shots fired at Chef.
Local shots fired. Ouch.
You can play the hits for them, and they're going to like it. That's why. It's going to be a much easier trip. And that's it. You are 0 for 5, unfortunately. Thank you for playing.
I think we learned that none of us want to travel with Greg anytime soon, and we'll see you next week.